Every year around this time, people start asking the same question: what's the best laptop for back to school? And every year, the internet explodes with top 10 lists, bold claims, and flashy marketing. But the real answer is never that simple, because the best laptop for me might be totally wrong for you. The truth is, picking the right one comes down to understanding what actually matters and ignoring the noise. Think about it. A design student working with 3D models has completely different needs than someone writing essays or streaming lectures. A gamer who wants to unwind after class doesn't care about the same things as someone who values all-day battery life. That's why instead of rattling off random models, let's break down the decisions that actually determine whether your laptop feels like a trusted sidekick or a frustrating brick. Let's start with graphics, because this is where a lot of people overspend. Here's the thing, most students and professionals don't actually need a dedicated graphics card. AMD's integrated graphics and Intel's newer Iris Xe and Arc options can handle everyday work, streaming, and even light gaming without breaking a sweat. But if you're aiming for serious gaming, video editing, or CAD work, a dedicated GPU does make sense. Just remember, you don't need the shiniest new release. Last generation cards like Nvidia's 4060 or AMD's mid-range Radeons are still powerful and usually much cheaper. Then there's the processor, the heart of the machine. AMD has been quietly dominating this space with their Ryzen chips, especially when it comes to balancing power and efficiency. A Ryzen 7 or Ryzen 9 can go toe-to-toe with Intel's high-end options, often while sipping less battery. Intel's new Core Ultra processors are solid too, but here's the twist. They're not drastically faster than the 12th or 13th gen chips. That means you can often save a lot by buying slightly older hardware without sacrificing real-world performance. And if you're the adventurous type, Qualcomm's new Snapdragon X laptops are promising jaw-dropping battery life. The catch? Not every app plays nicely with them yet, but here's a little secret. The processor and graphics aren't always the parts that decide whether your laptop actually feels good to use. RAM does. In 2025, 8 gigs just doesn't cut it. 16 gigs is the baseline for smooth multitasking, and if you're into heavy creative work or big data projects, 32 gigs makes life so much easier. The tricky part is that some laptops now solder the RAM to the board, which means no upgrades later. If you want your machine to last, look for one with expandable memory. And don't forget storage. An SSD is non-negotiable. A quarter terabyte might be enough for basic work, but if you're storing projects, videos, or games, half a terabyte or more is worth it. Thankfully, this is one of the easiest things to expand, whether inside the laptop or with a tiny external SSD you can carry in your bag. By now, you can probably see a theme. The best laptop isn't about chasing specs on a chart. It's about picking the right balance for how you'll actually use it. And we're just getting started. In the next section, we'll dig into displays, keyboards, trackpads, and the little design choices that end up shaping your daily experience way more than raw power ever will. Now that we've covered the guts of your laptop, the CPU, GPU, RAM, and storage, let's talk about the parts you actually interact with every day. Displays are first, and this is where marketing can get really misleading. IPS panels are the safe, all-around choice. They're bright, efficient, and offer good color accuracy. OLED panels, gorgeous, especially in dark rooms, but they can struggle in bright spaces. Mini LED is the opposite, blindingly bright for sunny rooms, but sacrifices contrast in dark scenes. For most students or professionals, IPS hits the sweet spot of performance, battery life, and price. Resolution matters too, but maybe not as much as you think. Full HD is fine for most tasks. Quad HD gives a noticeable improvement if you've got good eyes, but 4K is rarely worth the battery hit. And don't overlook the aspect ratio. 16:10 or 3:2 gives extra vertical space, which is surprisingly helpful when reading documents or browsing the web. High refresh rates, 60 Hz or higher, will make everything feel smoother, whether you're gaming or just scrolling through files. Next up, trackpads and keyboards. Most laptops today have perfectly functional trackpads, but the best feel large, glass-topped, and use haptic feedback instead of physical clicks. Apple still sets the standard, but Windows devices like the Surface, Dell XPS, and HP Spectre are excellent too. Keyboards are more personal. Some machines feel perfect under your fingers, others make typing a chore. The only real way to know, go try a few in a store. Chassis flex, key stability, and layout all matter more than a spec sheet can tell you. Battery life is a similar story. Watt hours only tell part of the story. Efficiency of the components, display brightness, and software optimization all play huge roles. And don't trust manufacturer claims. One laptop might promise 15 hours and deliver 7. Always check third-party reviews for real-world numbers. A slightly smaller battery on an efficient machine can outperform a bigger battery on a poorly optimized one. Then there are the extras that quietly change your day-to-day experience. Webcam quality is finally improving, but it's still hit or miss outside Qualcomm-powered laptops. Fingerprint readers and Windows Hello facial recognition are small conveniences that make a big difference in logging in quickly. Ports are another overlooked factor. Do you still use USB-A devices? Do you need HDMI for presentations? Are headphone jacks disappearing on your short list of candidates? Check before you buy. These little details can be annoying to live without. By now, you should see the pattern. The best laptop isn't always the flashiest, fastest, or most expensive. It's the one that fits your workflow, feels good to use, and actually suits your lifestyle. That could be a MacBook with insane battery life, a Ryzen-powered Windows laptop that's on sale, or even a Chromebook that handles all your tasks through the browser. The key is knowing what matters most to you, then using that as your filter through the marketing noise. So when you're shopping, remember these priorities. Choose a CPU and GPU that match your real needs. Get enough RAM and storage for today and tomorrow. Pick a display you'll enjoy looking at, a keyboard you'll enjoy typing on, and a machine that won't leave you stranded by the end of the day. And double check ports, extras, and battery life. Get these basics right and everything else becomes secondary. At the end of the day, buying a laptop should feel empowering, not exhausting. The right machine is out there, and now you know how to find it without falling for hype or overpaying. If this guide helped you untangle the options, hit that subscribe button for more practical tech advice. We'll keep testing, comparing, and explaining so you can make confident choices without the stress. Because the best laptop isn't the one everyone talks about, it's the one that actually works for you.